What's up guys, it's Lord Both here for another video, and Kevin Feige recently did an interview with Deadline, and there were some very interesting tidbits that came out of it. The first one is this, from Screen Time on Twitter X. Kevin Feige says Marvel spoke about pivoting from Kang to Doctor Doom before Jonathan Majors' conviction. Quote, even before what had happened to the actor, we started to realize that Kang wasn't Thanos.
Oh my god! Wow!
Yeah, a few things here. Maybe, I don't know, betting on the actor who was trained as a clown and had a very checkered past if you just did a little bit of research. And I know Marvel gambled on Robert Downey Jr. and his very assorted past, but to be fair, Marvel, the MCU, hadn't been fully established yet, and it wasn't Disney back then. You would think they would want to run some simple background checks now. But maybe betting on that guy, Jonathan Majors, was not a great idea, especially when he seemed to be an overactor, let's be honest.
Oh, come on!
Playing a role, Kang, the Conqueror, which wasn't the biggest villain in terms of popularity.
Who?
Okay, let's just outright say it. Not a lot of people knew who Kang the Conqueror was. I consider myself to be a fairly lay fan of Marvel beyond just the movies. I didn't read any comics or see anything or know who Kang the Conqueror was before they started doing things about him in the MCU. I knew who Thanos was. I knew who Galactus was. I knew who Doctor Doom definitely was. I didn't know Kang the Conqueror at all. And to be honest, he never seemed like he was on the same level as those guys in terms of existential threat.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
This is another one of those Guardians of the Galaxy effects, which is why I always say that Guardians of the Galaxy is the best thing and the worst thing to happen to the MCU. It is the best thing because it is a really, really good movie and a fun adventure film that is one of the few Marvel films that I could watch again and again and again. The first Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Extra primo good, Mr. Colmansat.
And you don't need to watch it along with the other Marvel films. You can watch it as a standalone movie. And James Gunn does a really good job of bringing that movie to life and bringing those characters to life that were not popular characters within the comics. And aside from a bunch of other problems that movie caused for Marvel at a systematic level, one of the problems, putting those other aside, but the main problem we're going to talk about here, is the idea that it gave Marvel, the MCU, a sense that they could take any character from the comics and elevate them to the status that people will want to come see them.
Not a great plan.
The only problem is, to do that, you have to get the story right, the acting right, the theme, the music. So much has to go right for that to happen. It's like striking lightning in a bottle. And that's kind of what they had with Guardians of the Galaxy, and it just wasn't going to happen again. And it hasn't really happened again. And quite clearly, it wasn't happening for Jonathan Majors and Kang the Conqueror. And that's why, and Kevin Feige and no one at the MCU will actually say this, but the trouble that Jonathan Majors got himself into, they probably saw as a blessing in disguise, because it helped ease their ability to move on from him. The other thing that Kevin Feige said of note in this interview, and this is pure brain damage. Again, from Screen Time on Twitter X, Kevin Feige on Blade being delayed. Yes, because Mahershala Ali was announced as Blade 6 years ago now, and the movie has yet to move forward at all.
Well, we're waiting.
But Feige said, quote, we didn't want to put a leather outfit on him and have him start killing vampires.
Huh?
No, I'm not having this. I'm not having this. No.
Okay.
Why not? That's the whole point of Blade. This is the equivalent of saying, hey, we want to make a Doom movie, but we don't really want to put Doom guy in, his futuristic Doom space battle suit and give him a gun and just have him mowing demons down. Oh wait, they did actually do a movie like that. And it didn't do well. Anyway, Feige goes on to state, you can start and have a good script and make it a great script through production. That's a little tidbit there. You get to see his mindset on why you never have full scripts ready when they're making the MCU movies anymore. They're always half scripts that they're always rewriting and adjusting and fixing things. And probably why you understand why they don't have a third act of Avengers Doomsday yet, which is a problem in and of itself, and he's wrong saying that. And he goes on to state, but we didn't feel confident we could do that on Blade.
But why?
You shouldn't feel confident that you could do that on any movie. Again, we didn't want to do that to Mahershala and didn't want to do that to us. Listen, this Blade movie is never getting made. And that first sentence there is the reason why. We didn't want to put a leather outfit on him and have him start killing vampires. That is literally all that Blade does. It's not that complicated of a character and story arc to get around. They understood it in the Wesley Snipes movies that were serviceable for what they were. I don't get what's so difficult about understanding it here. This is one of those things that Marvel doesn't quite understand, and Hollywood doesn't, in general, quite understand. Simplicity. The fact that not everything has to be a comment on something, or a message about something, or have some deeper meaning. The story can just be the story, and the characters in the story can just do what the characters are supposed to do. And in a story about Blade, where he is a character that kills vampires, he should, I don't know, kill vampires.
It's as simple as that.
Anyway, I feel bad for Mahershala Ali because since he's tied up with this movie, I get the feeling that there's only so much time he's allowed to dictate and give away to other projects just because he has to have time freed up in case this movie starts going through. That's the terrible thing about these contracts with these studios, especially Disney. And he's wasting his time on a movie that is never going to get made. Or by the time it does get made, no one will care about it.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you
We don't care.
But those are just my thoughts on all this. If you have your own thoughts, go and leave them in the comments. If you liked this video, go and like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, I appreciate you watching all of it, and we'll talk to you again later.